because at 9 years old, when I encountered the Lord, one of the things he began to deal with me was my heart. When I was 8 months old, I'll share this story with you, and you will see how this was so personal for me. When I was 8 months old, my father was murdered. And the family member that was behind this assassination was a family member I knew. We loved this person. He gave me a nickname that my mom ended up, they stopped calling me that name. But this was someone who was like part of the family. And it was years later that everything came to light. The person who was behind my father's assassination. And discovering it was this particular person was crushing. But in that moment, what I felt for him was compassion. And why was because at 9 years old, when I encountered the Lord, one of the things he began to deal with me was my heart. Before that time, I had a lot of anger. I was going in a very, 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 very dark path in life. And when the Lord encountered me, the first thing he began to teach me about was forgiveness. And he began to show me that if you don't understand the power of your heart, then you will never walk into the things I've called you to. And I was a kid. I was like, Lord, I don't care about the calling. I want to watch Powerpuff Girls, okay? But there was something he said to me that for many, many years, I speak about this often because of how impactful it was for me as a child. And he said, my daughter, no one ever hurts you from a place of love or wholeness. That when a person hurts you, they're broken, and that brokenness opened the door. It was a crack that the enemy used to fulfill his agenda. The person who hurt you is not your enemy. The spirit that influenced it is your enemy. Because that person that hurt you is still my child. It's still someone who I have plans for. Now, don't understand that there is a difference between forgiveness and reconciliation. Forgiveness has to do with you. To reconcile has to do with both parties. That means we are both in agreement concerning what happened, and we can walk this out in love together. Reconciliation is not for everyone. I don't have any desire to reconcile with my uncle. Not for me, right? Because he is still a very interesting human being. But forgiveness is about my heart. That I recognize that I am not going to be the judge concerning him. But I will trust the justice system of God to deal with him. Because there might be a day that in the dealings of the Lord concerning this gentleman, that he awakens to his calling, God. And there might be a moment that the Lord will say, now, Stephanie, I want you to pray for him. If I don't have the capacity to do that, then the boundaries of my life in God is limited.